Oh, my son. Ishigami. Wow, they really got me to cry. Ishigami, my son. Oh, they did you justice today. But regardless, today we're here to talk about Kaguya-sama Season 2, Episode 11. I'm still all up in my feelings right now. I ain't gonna lie to you guys, but before we get into this week's episode, I do, as usual, want to give a big thank you to those of you who shared last week's video over on Twitter. So a big thank you to Fourth Claws, Darkfire Player 4, Bubba Lubber, Marquinty2, and Sirius9752. Thank you all so much for sharing last week's video over on Twitter, everybody, and if you too would like to be in the next Kaguya-sama video, the big finale to Season 2, then be sure to share this video around on the internet, and then tag me at JoJo Talks So Much over on Twitter, and I will be sure to shout out the first 5 of you in next week's video. Also, if you are not subscribed yet, then I'm just gonna assume that Kyoko Otomo is your best girl. That's the only reason you wouldn't be subscribed. That's it. So if Otomo's your best girl, then, then don't hit that subscribe button. But if not, oof, you better hit that subscribe button. That one was dirty. I apologize for that one. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. Oh my god. I wasn't kidding earlier. Like, I actually was very emotional. Like, they got me to cry this week. Now, like, this isn't a surprise. We've known that Kaguya can get me all up in my feelings, but I was like ugly crying. You know that like ugly cry where you're like, oh, thank God nobody's around. Like, that's the cry I had on my face. Like, specifically in the Shirogane flashback, but like, oh man, like throughout this whole episode, I was like all up in my emotions, just really, to quote Shulk, I was really feeling it. I was way in my emotions. But that said, there are like 3, but mainly 2 specific beats to this week's episode, right? There's the clothes swap, there's the relay, and then there's just a little bit at the end with Kaguya that we gotta get to. But let's go ahead and start with the clothes swap, because that's how we open the episode, so we may as well start with that. So, hearing my boy Ishigami, my antisocial, angsty boy, say the words, "This has to be the most fun I've had at a sports festival," had me, like, all in my emotions. And seeing the gang look genuinely proud of Ishigami, like genuinely, like the look of joy on characters from Shirogane, like his boy, all the way to characters like Ino, who I will admit is like my current top ship for Ishigami. It, like, from that to that, it, like, you see these people, like specifically Ino was a surprise, but you see these characters looking so genuinely happy that Ishigami is part of the cheer team, who I love now. Like, I already liked the cheer team, but the cheer team to me, and if you've seen this show, you'll know what I'm talking about, but the cheer team to me is like the Body Improvement Club, but for Kaguya. Like, that's what that is how they feel to me. Only instead of improving the body, although cheer does do that as well. Cheer, don't let people tell you that cheer is just like like cheering for the team. No, there's a lot of exercise. You want to be a cheerleader, you got to be physically fit. So to go like to yes, they do have that element of the Body Improvement Club, but it's also just the idea that they're making this character better. And that's how I feel. And the cheers, like Ishigami being in the cheer squad, having everybody be proud of him, and doing something as goofy as basically dressing up like Kaguya, it was so good. So good. And I was so happy to see him smile. Like, to hear him say that he's in a good mood was enough. Like, I've been with this boy for 2 seasons now, and Ishigami's my boy. Like, I will defend Ishigami. I will stand up for this kid. Not that I need to, because let me tell you something about Ishigami, okay? When this episode hit, if you don't know, I watched them the day after. I try to make sure that I'm watching these shows the same day I'm recording, which sometimes means that I don't get to check something out right away. I check it out like the next day or like 2 days later. So this is the next day following when it premiered, and the internet lit up. The internet was all about the finale to Hamefura, the finale to Bookworm, but specifically this episode of Kaguya, people were talking about this, and everyone was like, have you seen it? You have to have seen it. Oh my god, tell me you've seen it. Not only because it's a great episode, but because they know Ishigami is best boy, and they know that I subscribe to that. Ishigami is absolutely best boy. Is Shirogane also best boy? Yes, they share best boy. And there's a reason why a trophy typically has 2 handles, because Ishigami and Shirogane can hold that best boy championship together, okay? Like that is just how it is. And my god, like the internet wasn't wrong. Seeing all the stuff he goes through in this episode, even just starting, we haven't even gotten past the clothes swap, and I'm already screeching about how proud I am of my boy. Damn it, I'm so proud. I'm so proud. And in that moment, I'm thinking, like, this is beautiful, this is great. And then this bitch makes my blood boil. Next comes Kyoko Otomo, who just had to ruin it. This bitch. Oh my god. Like, I don't use the words this bitch unless I really mean it. And this girl is that bitch. Like, this girl is that bitch. And I was so floored. I haven't disliked a character as much as I disliked Otomo. And the fact that the way the episode ends, with her being all like happy, like, yeah, I really stuck it to him, ha ha ha. I hope, like when she said, like, I hope you trip on your face, sweetheart, I hope you trip into traffic and kiss a bumper. Oh my god, that girl is awful. Easily, no question in my mind. No question in my mind. Worst girl of the season, possibly worst girl of the year, Otomo. Absolute trash. Trash tier. I was so disgusted with this character. And it's like, it shakes him, right? Like the fact that she's there, just seeing her is enough to shake him because of the events of the past, which we will get into in just a sec. But it shakes him to his core, and it only further destroys him when he gets told that he's gonna have to be the anchor for Red Team, right? If you don't remember what's going on, the school's different groups are like the different clubs are split between Red Team and White Team, and so they're in the cheer team is in the Red Team, right? That's where they are, and it's rough, man. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. Because what ends up happening, and the reason why I'm still talking about this in the clothes swap section, is the reason why Ishigami has to be the anchor isn't just because, like, they were like, make it Ishigami, why not? No, it's because the captain forgot he was wearing a dress and tried to hop the fence. And I guess, like, they don't really get into it, but my best guess is that when he tried to hop the fence, he forgot he was in a dress, which they do say, but my best guess is that the dress got caught on the fence, so instead of landing properly, he like twisted and like probably landed on his ankle funny, since they say that he really sprained his ankle. Now, part of me, and maybe I'm reading this wrong, but the captain and the co-captain, that girl is best girl, by the way, and that boy is best boy. But the captain and the co-captain have, I don't know if you guys remember, but last week, they noticed Ishigami was really trying, and they were very proud of him. And the cheer team themselves, and that blonde girl, who I also really ship with Ishigami. My boy assembling a harem. But like, even she was just like, okay, I really wish it was the captain, but okay. Here's my theory. And I'm probably way off base, but this is just my goofy theory, and my theory is thus. I wonder if the captain and the co-captain made up the story that he sprained his ankle to give him a confidence boost. Now, I could be reading that way wrong, and I'm sure people in the comments are going to be like, no, it's just, this is my headcanon, okay? There you go. It's not a theory, it's a headcanon. In my mind, that's what happened. That the captain and the co-captain are such good people, and are the good normies that Ishigami thinks they are, and that they did this on purpose to give Ishigami the confidence boost, the final push onto the road to be a happier, brighter person. That's my headcanon, not my theory, headcanon. There, now you can't tell me otherwise, because now I'm just crazy if you don't believe me, so that's fine. This does lead nicely, though, into the relay, where we see Shirogane and Kaguya, who are just the absolute best in this episode, both Kaguya and Shirogane. Shirogane gets a little bit more shine, because that's Ishigami's like best friend, that's his boy. But Kaguya is also a close friend of his and also gets a big moment. But I love that Shirogane and Kaguya show up and they're like trying to encourage him. But Ishigami is so zoned out and spends the majority of the episode just in his own head, reliving these crap, awful memories and genuinely zoned out. Like, we see him looking incredibly distraught at several points just before, this leads right up to him getting ready to take the baton for the relay. Like, this whole time he's waiting for the baton, he's in his own head. He's like confused, like not confused, but he's like hating on himself. He's mortified by the past. He can't let it go. Seeing this bitch like totally puts him in his head, and you hate to see it. And it leads to the flashback, where we see this flashback with worst girl and worst boy, Ogino. And Ogino, he just the word. Ogino and Otomo deserve each other because they're both awful people. Like, 100%. The fact that Otomo thinks that Ishigami did this out of spite, and the fact that she holds on to this grudge for that long, refuses to let this man move on. Like, I might have actually felt bad for her. Honestly, like, I maybe might have felt bad for her, but I don't. Because, like, to be that petty, bruh, like, that's disgusting. Honestly disgusting. And speaking of disgusting, Ogino, what a damn creep, this cheating asshole being so perverted. Like the way he shows Ishigami, you know what was on that phone. Like, what he showed is disgusting. That dude should be locked up, let alone just being called a creep. Like, that dude's a creep. And I hate that he calls Ishigami a creep, because I'm like, no, brother, no. You are the creep, okay? Like, I'm so heated. I don't know if you could tell. This isn't my usual, like, hey, YouTube radio voice. Like, no, I'm heated. I'm mad. These two made me genuinely mad. I hated seeing them put Ishigami through what they put him through. And then you have that forced, gross-ass apology. Apologize? Hell no. And the fact that you see Ishigami, like, really put through the ringer here. This is what really pissed me off, is this forced apology, right? Because it's like, apologize for what? Like, did Ishigami go too far? Yeah, he probably did. Like, kicking Ogino's ass was, well, first of all, it was satisfying. But was it the appropriate action? No, probably not. Like, did Ishigami have to punch him? No. Was it fun? Yeah, probably. But it wasn't the right thing to do. And Ishigami knows that. Like Shirogane knows that as well. When Shirogane eventually enters the flashbacks, like, he even points it out, like, was that the right thing to do? Probably not. Was it deserving? Yeah, definitely. And I don't know, but the fact that he's forced to apologize, that's what grosses me out, right? Is the fact that nobody believes him. Nobody believes my boy because of this 2-bit actor. Like, nobody believes my boy. And Ogino and Otomo, like, splitting up, like that, like, worst girl, as I'm gonna be referring to. She doesn't deserve a name. Worst girl gets upset that worst boy broke up with her and holds this grudge against Ishigami, and worst boy is nervous because Ishigami won't apologize. Take that apology letter and shove it up their ass, like, 100%. Like, Ishigami did the right thing by not saying sorry, because he shouldn't be sorry. And I'm a Canadian. We apologize for everything. You know what I mean? So if that's coming from me, that's really saying something. But just as my boy is in this, like, just typhoon of self-hate and pity, Shirogane shows up. Shirogane arrives with the headband and just tells my boy, like, hey, a captain needs a headband. Or an anchor needs a headband, right? And what I love, and I wrote it down because it just made me so proud of Shirogane, so damn proud. He says, go get him, and don't worry about anybody else. And I loved that, because Shirogane knows, right? He knows what Ishigami is thinking. He knows what's going on in Ishigami's head right now. And Ishigami makes, like, a joke of, like, oh, this headband's, like, covered in sweat. This is gross. Shirogane's like, hey, come on! Like, I'm trying to help. Right? But we understand that Ishigami's just screwing around. He's just having a laugh. Because we then get the flashback where Shirogane, like, where Shirogane enters Ishigami's life, the first interaction between these two. And I never realized how badly I wanted to see this until the time I saw it. And him entering like Ishigami's life, being the literal light in his life, is beautiful. There's this shot where he walks into Ishigami's room, which is just shrouded in darkness, and the light emanating from the door follows Shirogane as he walks towards Ishigami, and it's shot beautifully. I know it, like, when I say shot, you know what I mean. It's animated beautifully. It's framed beautifully, and it's so powerful, and it's such a good description of how, or rather, what makes these two so close, and why Shirogane means so much to Ishigami. And it's such a great scene. I loved that to pieces. And I think the only thing better than that shot is when Shirogane says, like, you know what you should have wrote on that letter? And he takes the marker and he writes over top of, like, the whole thing, and it just says, "Go to hell, dumbass." And I was like, yes, like, it's so great. And then that comes back later on when we flash back to the present, right? And we see Ishigami, like, getting warmed up, and he tightens the headband, and then worst girl over here screaming, like, "He broke up with me because of you, I hope you fall on your face," like, all this mean stuff, like, this nasty, horrible stuff. This was clearly years ago, and worst girl, this absolute hapless loser, is still holding a grudge over something so petty and stupid. And something that, like, if she had two brain cells to rub together, she could understand what was actually going on. And she's still screaming at him. So what does Ishigami say? "Go to hell, dumbass." I laughed and I cheered. I was crying. I was so proud. And, like, I love that he echoes the words that Shirogane said to him to tell worst boy, and he just echoes that back at worst girl, and he gets ready to run this relay. And I was so proud. I was so proud. And, like, sure, the relay doesn't quite go off the way that you would hope, right? I was hoping, I kind of knew in my heart he wouldn't make it, but I was really hoping Ishigami would sprint his ass off and get first, right? And he even says, like, "I'm shrugging this off." Like, he's not just running forward, like, in terms of the race, although that's what's happening, like, on the surface level. But on the metatextual level, this is this is Ishigami finally outpacing the past, finally charging forward full speed, and ready to become a happier, better person. And it's such a great metaphor. It's like the baton pass is always a good metaphor. Like, a relay race is always a good metaphor. So you love to see it. And here it's done beautifully. And I loved seeing Ishigami, like, being embraced by the cheer squad, and seeing, like, their faces, like, actually seeing, like, when he opens his eyes and you see all their faces, and I'm like, man, y'all are beautiful. Like, look at these beautiful people. I'm not getting in my emotions again. No. I'm just gonna say, Ishigami's my boy, and I was so proud. And the fact that they embrace him so wholeheartedly, you love to see it. You just love to see it. And the last thing I'm gonna talk about, and this one I'm gonna be very brief because I definitely have gone a little bit over time on this one, but Kaguya definitely got worst boy switched out of their school. Like, 100%. Got him switched out of there. Like, I refuse to believe otherwise. I know that she said, like, no, I wouldn't do something like that. But we know our girl. Yes, she would. She totally would. Like, of course she did. And worst girl's friends even note, like, oh, she's so blissfully stupid. Like, she's so unaware. And they said, like, even if what he said was true, he didn't have to say it like that. It's like, no, he did need to say it like that. He needed to let her know, no, you don't get to win. And when she thinks that she got this one up on him, like, what? No, you didn't get anything, you hapless moron. Like, you didn't get any jabs in on him at all. Like, what you got on him was stuff that was eating away at him. Nothing you said specifically got him. He got himself, and then he pulled himself out of it. You just happened to be on the receiving end of one of the sickest burns of the season. That's what happened to you. And her friend's even saying, like, it's true, like, you are a dumbass, and you should go to hell, because what you've done is terrible. Like, I'm sure they didn't mean it necessarily like that, but that's what I took away from it. And seeing Kaguya say, like, he's such a, like he's a good second year, or he's such an interesting character, just basically, like, saying that she does care about him. And even Hayasaka, like, she didn't say nothing, but I appreciated that she was, like, standing beside Kaguya, like, yeah, I agree. And it's just, such a good episode, such a great penultimate episode leading into the finale. That's my boy right there. That's my boy Ishigami. He gets his own episode, and it got me to cry. Just phenomenal. But with that said, everybody, I'm going to wrap up my thoughts here. I adored this episode. I cannot wait for the finale. We're definitely getting a season 3, right? Like, that's just a given. Like, we're definitely getting a season 3. Are we going to get a confession next week? Oh, I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see on that one. But if you enjoyed today's video, then don't forget to boop that up snoot and share if you care. And of course, as always, I would be a fool not to give a big thank you to the good folks in the T Squadron. Look at these beautiful names, who definitely agree that Worst Girl and Worst Boy are the worst girl and boy of the entire year. I don't even think that any of them would disagree with me. But with that said, if you would like to join those in the T Squadron, then be sure to check out that first link in the description to check out our Patreon page. For less than a cup of coffee a month, you can help keep this channel afloat, and I would sincerely appreciate it. So thank you to the T Squadron. But with that said, everybody, I am going to go edit this video and cry some more over my best boy finally getting to be happy. But until next time, you stay classy, AniTube, and wash your dang hands.